And you and Esther are magnificent. I am really magnificent. I didn't think I was going to be shaking. Wow, so much energy. Thank God I got a paper here. This is really a dream come true to be facing you through Esther. I'm a powerful creator. We've created this. It feels wonderful. 4 years ago, I was introduced to your teaching, and I think every day I've been listening to you. Very quickly, to the things that have touched me in your teaching. One thing I just remembered, I knew already. Another thing I just discovered. The first thing I remembered is I am source energy.
In a physical body.
In a physical body. And the way I visualize it, when there was a big bang, I think.
No, there was never a big bang. There
No.
was a lot of little bangs.
I beg pardon?
A whole lot of little bangs.
A lot of bangs.
From your human perspective, it seems bigger than it was, but it's always the next logical step.
Okay.
So big bang.
What I was going to say is God, or all there is, source energy, exploded itself into trillions of particles, and I'm one of these particles. So I am source energy. Yeah. So through your teaching, I remember that. And secondly, contrast is necessary. That was a big thing. I was negative.
And when you take it to the next step, which is it's not only necessary, it's delightful.
Yes, absolutely, because it creates expansion.
And because variety is nice.
Absolutely.
Choices are nice.
Wonderful.
Contrast only doesn't feel nice when you don't know you're the chooser. But when you know you're the chooser, then bring it on.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Yeah.
I have two questions, but you sort of answered it, but I'll still go ahead with what I've prepared. But a bit of my background.
Or we could go into a whole new thought.
We can, absolutely. Sky's the limit. A little bit about my background. When I was 18 years old, my father gave me the best gift. He gave me a book called The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. And it basically teaches the same thing you're teaching today, but maybe with different words that people could accept at those years. That there's just a power. He called it the subconscious mind because he didn't want to give it a name that...
He didn't want to call it God.
That's it. Exactly. A religious connotation.
Bogs everyone down.
Absolutely, yeah. You're reading my mind, my God. I don't have... You go ahead. I don't have to speak. And basically, how you've... the feeling of success creates success. The feeling of wealth creates wealth. That's what he was teaching. And he was giving a few method techniques to put alignments. And the process I enjoyed the most was just relaxing all your body, all your muscles, as if you're in a half state of sleep, but you're still very awake. And then you do affirmations. He called it scientific prayers.
So from the high flying disc, in other words, you're relaxed.
Exactly.
So there's no resistance within you.
Sort of
and
meditation.
From that place of non-resistance, then you affirm. Good.
Exactly, yeah. And the suggestion of prayers or affirmations very often started very general. Like, I believe there's a power, and I have this power. And then you went more specific. Yeah. And the prayer ended by, I will go all day in peace and joy, knowing that the blessings are coming to me, and I render grace. And my French-Canadian brain, and that was an English book. Actually, yeah, it was an English book. My French brain understood rendering grace is to give back. And
now what does it mean?
Okay, so many other spiritual teachers teach that if you want to receive, you have to give, and I don't believe that, and I think you don't believe that either. But to me, rendering grace was to just be uplifting, be an uplifter, and to give. I don't have to give money to render grace. I can do very simple things, just opening the door at the grocery store for somebody, or give way in the traffic to somebody, or just bring a smile to somebody who serves
Well, we
me.
want to say there are a lot of people that are talking about a lot of things like that, and we're not disagreeing with any of them, but we just want to say it isn't what you do, it's how you feel when you do it.
Absolutely.
And that's why the word grace is a pretty good word, because when you're on the high-flying disc and so the behavior isn't important. It's the fact that when you're tuned into that frequency, then you're inspired.
Absolutely.
Then you're inspired to something that's beneficial, not only for you, but for them.
Absolutely.
And if it's not beneficial for both, then it's not an inspired thing. And that's what the grace of it is, being in alignment so that that broader perspective is causing the coming together.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I felt very good rendering grace, not because I was doing it to receive what I was asking, but it just felt good doing it. And I felt that that was who I was, really, to be an uplifter. And therefore, through these knowledge, my profession, I'm artistic. I was an artistic athlete in the field of dance sport. And I started to be self-employed at the age of 20 years old. And I've created a lot of buttons and a lot of castles through this understanding. And my life has been really, really exciting, traveling the world, dancing. And I've attracted to me the best partner, the best coaches, the best ideas to practice on. Reach a place where we were in the top 3 in the world. No other Canadian have ever achieved that position, so I was really excited. And eventually you stop competing. I retired from performing, and I focused mainly on teaching and coaching. And it seems that I forgot who I was, really, when this happened. And I went down, sort of lost who I was. Financially, things went different ways. Relationship, my body, went into a lot of addictions. And 4 years ago, I woke up one morning, I look up, I said, I need help. 6 months later, to incredible synchronicity, I met a new friend in New York that introduced me to your teaching. And now 4 years, I know who I am again. And things are slowly happening. Relationships are better. My teaching is better. I feel more happy all the time. I'm playing a lot of golf. I've tried to the best teacher I could find. And this friend from New York that introduced me to you, we have one of our main goal is to manifest winnings from a lottery for both of us of over $10 million. And why you're laughing? And therefore, my question is, I got 2 questions. Number 1, how is it possible to have many departments of your life where you manifest, and then maybe one is it's not happening? So I'm curious to see why is that. You're either in the vortex or you're not. Therefore, I imagine all the departments should be fruitful.
Well, that seems logical. You're either in the vortex or you're not. But the thing is, some subjects cause you to be in the vortex, and some subjects cause you not to be. And while there is a sort of average that comes from it, you are literally laying pipelines for manifestations with the thoughts that you think. Yeah. The best example of this that we have been offering recently, the best day that Esther's experienced ever, for point of clarification, when she was recently at the Del Mar Fair with her grandchildren. Now, these are children who are almost always tuned in, tapped in, turned on. They are flying high, they are happy kids, and their lives are going especially well. But on this day, Luke, who is 7, got off on a different foot, and the whole day showed him what foot he was on. And Kate got off on a high-flying foot, and the whole day showed her. And the reason that it was so exceptional and so informational, so teaching to Esther, is because she knows these children and she knows who they really are. She was just watching the results of their point of attraction in that day. This is the thing that most people are not considering. They're not considering, what is my now point of attraction? You're thinking about who you are in general, or you're thinking about some future event, or you're thinking about what the past was. You gave us a bit of description like that. But the only thing that matters is, what am I doing here and now? Are my pipes open, and what are they open to right here and now? Because law of attraction is a powerful energy that is offering things that match it. And so Luke, who plays basketball very, very well, couldn't get a basket in this rigged game. And it was frustrating to him, but Esther couldn't spend enough money to make it possible. 3 more balls, please. 3 more balls, please. 3 more. And Kate said, can I try? And her ball went in the first time. Now, you got to think about what their point of attraction were. Luke, who knows he's good at it, who was trying very hard. Kate, who doesn't care whether she's good at it or not, who thought it might be fun. And so the day unfolded with more examples than you really want to hear. But with Kate winning so many stuffed animals that they had to make a trip back to the car, there were too many to carry, and Luke saying things like, "It's like they don't want me to win." Game after game after game after game was that way. And they had gone to the fair to see the Train concert. Everyone in their family was really enjoying it. And Kate was selected by one of the Train managers to go on stage with Train. And Luke knew every word to the song that they sang when Kate was on stage. And then the concert is over and the audience is applauding, and one more number, please. And the band comes back out with some T-shirts to toss, 3 of them. And Kate gets one of the T-shirts. It was like nothing could go wrong for Kate and nothing could go right for Luke in that particular point in time. So we want you to think about your now point of attraction, not how it's been, not how it's going, what your now point of attraction is. Your now point of attraction. So if you get on a high-flying disc and you do it just for the sake of being on it, not for the sake of winning the lottery, not for the sake of affecting something. You get on it because you accept that that's where you feel best. You get on it because you accept that that's your natural state of being. You get on it because that's who you are and that's how you want to feel. You get on it because you're good at getting on it. You get on it because now momentum helps you get on it. So you get on the high-flying disc and then you follow your impulses. You follow your impulses about who you call. You follow your impulses about where you eat. You follow your impulses about what route you take when you're driving somewhere. You follow your impulses about everything. You follow your impulse about where you buy your lottery ticket. You follow your impulse about what game you play. You follow your impulse about what you do when you play the game. You follow your impulse because the source within you knows what you want and where you stand in relationship to it and the path of least resistance to get you there. And so we have to say to you that there is nothing off limits. There is nothing that you cannot be or do or have. But you have to practice yourself into the vibration of knowing that about everything. Knowing that. And so if something's not going the way you want it to, you don't get too heavy about it. You don't try to get to the bottom of it because there is no bottom. Instead, you say something like, I'm going to distract myself from this because this thought doesn't feel good. The only question you want to ask yourself is, this subject, the way I've got it activated, the way I feel about it, is this a high-flying disc subject or not? End of discussion. Can I fly high on my high-flying disc if I'm thinking about that? And you have to sort of do it. It's like by trial and error that you do it. You practice it. You practice yourself into believing. You practice yourself into believing what you want to believe. Now, that's troubling to some people because they want to be realists. Esther said in the beginning to us on many occasions, Abraham, that's true. It's true, and therefore I believe I should give my attention to it. And we said there are a lot of things that are true that you want, and there are a lot of things that are true that you don't want. We would be more selective than just saying that it's true. So how do you make something true? How do you make yourself the winner of the lottery? How do you make yourself the winner of the award? How do you make yourself the happiest person you know? How do you make yourself that? By focusing and feeling and focusing and feeling. But it takes a handful of premises. You got to know it's a vibrational universe, do you? You got to know that you're a vibrational being. Do you know that? Absolutely. You got to know what your emotions mean. Do you know what your emotions mean? Your emotions are telling you what your vibrational proximity is to the things you want and to who you really are. There isn't anything else to know. You have to know that you have the ability to focus. And then most of all, and this is the part that we've really been bringing home for you today, most of all, after you know that you have the ability to focus, you have to practice the focusing. And once you practice the focusing and then see the results, and practice the focusing and see the results, and practice the focusing and see the results, in time you come to understand it doesn't matter what the object of my attention is, the universe reacts the same way. When I line up with it, when I become a vibrational match to it, then the pipeline between me and it is open, and some way, somehow, through the path of least resistance and in the timing that is perfect, I'm going to rendezvous with whatever it is. That's just the way that it works, you see. No exceptions. You're not the exception, and what you want isn't the exception. Everything that you want comes to you through that, you see.